This time we're going to go through the challenge number 11. It's a lot of text to read, but the general idea is it's a text passing. What we have some kind of input data, so that's some kind of comments left from a website or comment section. The company want to keep track some of the keywords within the comment. What we have, the looker table is here. We're looking for three keywords. Screen, trigger, those are good. It's a beep. We're looking for to match into a different bucket. So we're going to be a bit careful. The final answer, we're looking for the how many buckets, so how many keywords basically falls into. We notice the second row, we have a tones and the screen on its own, connected. So probably says a sentence, people mentioned two of the keywords. The idea I would do, first I would add a record ID. Because every time you do things, it's always good habit to have a record ID so you are able to keep track unique rows. Unless you have some kind of unique ID field already within the dataset. That should stamp it. Once the ID is added, next I will do is append. Yeah, input data source. So what we're interested is we want to search through each line for each keyword. We're going to basically duplicate the rows. So we can see for record ID number 1, we appended the 3 search terms. The same thing repeats for row number 2. So we're going to apply formula almost like a row level check to see, okay, is this thing trigger for the first keyword? Is the trigger for the second keyword, etc. To do so, let's use a formula. We're going to kind of create some kind of indicator. The idea is to say, I think they're looking for make flag, bucket false within complaint for mode bucket. So you want to aggregate a view on the things, the highest complaints. No, it's just a choice which regex to use. So let's give an indicator. So let's for the count. For counting how many times. Have a good regex. The reason for that is we actually have two functions to use. One is a count match, how many times the pattern appear. We can go for just regular Boolean, true or false. Does that word appear at least once or not? You can see on top, you also have the option to indicate is the thing case sensitive or not. Usually, the search is case insensitive. Since we're looking for aggregation, may well just use count match. We're looking for field number 6, the source string. What's the pattern we're looking for? We're looking for the keywords. So we're looking for the beep. Oh, sorry, the search column. If we just run it, let's have a look. So we should get this column. Good. So for example, row number 1, we can see only the screen keywords mentioned. Row number 2, we probably have a screen as well, etc. Like number 4, we have the word screen mentioned. Count to 3, so it's probably 3 times. Some people mentioned I'll probably browse tool for row number 4. Let's just check. Let's check the results. So device has been returned about product analysis. Oh, that's a lot. So that's a blank screen. That's testing. I don't know what to call it. Another blank screen. So you may have multiple keywords. That's why. And that's different. As long as we have some number here, you can always create a separate calculation to change those. Do you have a zero or non-zero number as like indicator functions? The next we're looking group by, so we care about the bucket calculation. How many buckets we have? Most often, a single bucket, we can use a summarize tool, which is easy to perform. But in this particular case, we have a little bit issue because in the answer, we know with some field you have multiple keywords. If we just do group by bucket count, we will miss this particular buckets. So let's use a slightly different strategy. We're still going to perform the count, except we're going to try a little bit different. Because we have limited results, so we can try this approach. We're going to pivot from long format to wide, so cross tab. We are going to use record ID to be the actual header, you will see. Same for the value, we'll look at group, so each bucket content. We do have a separator, default comma, that's just to handle if we have multiple times in it. We're going to choose the concatenation. We don't need anything to group by, and we're going to run it. So we pivot in such a way so each column should represent for each sentence. The idea is, oh, select the wrong stuff. Oh yeah, sorry, I need a filter. We don't care about the zero. We don't care the sentence that's not mentioned. So we're gonna filter the count to be non-zero digits. Count is not does not equals zero. Let's run again. Oh. The blank. What did I choose? I forgot to type the zero on there. As count measured as a number. Oh yeah, regex count. I used to count match. I forgot to change the date format. So you can see the code. Let's change this, make more consistent. We're looking for this as the integer, how many times this will show up. Then the metadata passed down. Count should be a number, not equal to zero. Still, yes, not equals to zero. Let's click again. My aim is to kind of make sure you do consistent data type throughout the system. So we can see 30 rows to feed in. Then the next stage in the true anchor with 10 rows. So only things that have keywords mentioned, then we can pivot it. That's better. So column 1, that indicates the first row, the first sentence, only screens mentioned. And the number 5, the fifth sentence, because we use the concatenation on the string. So you have tones, screen, you have multiple keywords mentioned. That's included in the data set. Of course, some other cases you may want to count specifically how many times keywords. You can do different way of transformation. Now we have those, then we can apply the grouping. But to grouping, we can't group by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's headed different. We need to pivot, unpivot, or we're gonna from wide to long again. A bit seems convoluted process. It's just due to column number 5, the multiple keywords. If we run it, we should get our name value pairs. For the name value pair, we're gonna be able to do grouping better. Then we can see we have individual values. That's the grouping field. We want to see how often those things appear. That's what we can aggregate with a summarize. So we're gonna summarize, group by the values. So which bucket you have. Name is the ID. We can just count how many ID you have. The names they call it buckets and count. So let's probably change the wording here. UCKET. Yes. We'll run the workflow. So trigger screen is one. Sorry, trigger multiple keywords is one, screen 7 times, trigger multiple screen, and the screen. So yeah, that's what we have for this particular workflow.